The magic of the microphone. The magic of the microphone. Greetings, one and all. I hope you're well and I hope you've had a good Christmas. It's not New Year yet. The washing machine's on in the background. I apologise, but this is part of the video. I don't think it really matters. Now I have here from Rockbottom, the music shop over the road, who kindly got this in from Lewitt, and it's the MTP 840 DM. Now, here's what I'm going to do, because it's a fairly complex mic in some ways. I've done the unboxing and you can see from above the switches that it's got underneath here, but I'm going to do it again. I'm not going to unbox it, but I'm going to bring it from above so you can see the switches, and then I'm going to operate the switches whilst it's on. Asking for trouble. So I might have to, or maybe I'll have to mute in between. I'll figure out a way. So you can hear what the various switches do. And then, when I've done that and you've heard what the various switches do, I'm going to leave it on just one setting. I've been playing with it, as you can imagine. I'll leave it on just one setting and then review it just on that setting, which is my favourite. But you'll have heard what the switches do and the options beforehand. That's the idea. Let's see how it goes. Okay, let's have a go at this. I'm on the SV33 and I've got my quick start guide down here. I just realised I need to go and get something. This is what I need to go and get, my wooden stick for addressing the switches inside. Hopefully it's fine enough. I've got my quick start guide here. I've got the washing machine on, sorry about that. And I've got a weak bottle of red wine. Just for, well, it's Christmas. Okay, off with the top, off with his head. Let's see what we got. Where's my quick start? There it is. Well, you can see. Well, you can't because I was holding it in the wrong place. 48 volts off. 48 volts. 48 volts with something. I think that's with a light. So when I earlier on said about these, don't know if you'll be able to see it because I've got a light on here. If I turn the light off just for a minute, there's other lights, so you might not be able to. Yes, you can, I think. So there are indicator lights. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 6 of them all together. And I've forgotten what they do. But anyway, that's so you know. Here, this says 0 dB, 6 dB, 12 dB. So I think that's boost. You can boost it, presumably only if it's on phantom power. We're going to find out. And this says linear, 150 Hertz, 250 Hertz. So I believe that's a cutoff. So what am I going to do? I think first of all, I'm going to set everything to neutral. So I'm going to take off the phantom power. Let me see that both indicators have gone out. Why would that be? It'll tell you in the manual, I'm sure. Okay, phantom power on, but no indicator. Phantom power on with 2 indicators. Oh well. So I'm going to leave the top off. And this isn't a review, this is just me fiddling around with the switches. I know what my favourite settings are. I'm going to put it to that, and that'll be put the top back on, and that'll be the end of that. But just so you get to hear a bit, and be careful with the pops, of course. All right, so now I've moved to it. I did have it on before. I can't get it close enough to tell. Did have it on before, so now obviously on this setting with the phantom power off, I'm going to need to significantly boost it, which I've done now. So this gives you an idea what it sounds like with the phantom power. If you can hear the hiss from the desk, I've left the trim about the same as I used for the other dynamic mics, but I've put the fader right up to the top, so you can hear that, and a bit of buzz as well, and hiss. And I've noticed that is a lot more significant than it was. Let's leave it like that just for a minute. Try the other settings. This is with it boosted. This is with it not boosted. This is with it boosted. This is with it boosted. Basically then, let me go to the SV33. Now I'm on the SV33. Basically then, the boost switch isn't functional from what I can tell without phantom power. So that's that, still leaving it in passive mode. I'm now going to fiddle with the bass cut switches. So I'm back on the 840 DM. I'm going to cut the bass to the first switch, so you can see. That's with the bass cut on the first switch. Let's cut it at 250. Yeah, can you hear the difference there then? Back to 150. Is it 150? Yep. Back to linear. Okay, so hopefully that's demonstrated that. Now, let's leave it there, because for me, you know, I'm going to want it flat. Now we're going to put the phantom power on. I'll put it on with a light, because there's no difference between phantom power on and phantom power on with the light. It's termed sonically. Trying to speak into the mic as well, not do loads of pops. I might have to do a bit of fiddling about with volumes afterwards, you understand that. I don't normally, but on this instance I'm probably going to have to. Let's put the phantom power on. I'm going to mute it when I do it, because there'll be an almighty pop, I'm sure. Okay, now here it is with the phantom power on, and let me bring the volume back down to where it was before. So this is now with the phantom power on. So I've gone back to 0 dB on the slider, from the slider having been right at the top, and you can hear there's less hiss, obviously. Okay, let me mute it now, and I'm going to put a light on. Why not? No lights at the moment. Now I've switched it to the position here, which has the light, the LED. There's two lights, and I don't remember why. You have to look at my cheat sheet at the end. Now I'm going to boost slightly. I'm going to mute as I do it. This is with the first level of boost. I'm going to edit out the gap between, so hopefully we can hear the difference. I'm holding the mic in roughly the same position, and I'm going to mute and then put it onto the second level of boost. Now this is on the second level of boost, and you can hear, I assume, a volume difference there. Okay, I'm going to put it back to no boost. I'm on the SV33. Incidentally, I noticed when I boosted it, I put it on the first level of boost. There is a, if I get my finger out of the way, there is a second. So there were two LEDs there. There's a second one, and that one are on. You have to figure out I'll tell you what they are in the end. Well, that's it. I think I'm on the SV33. That's nothing much more to say about that. We've gone through it all. You've got your various bass cuts, linear, 150, 250. I want it on linear. You've got various levels of boost in active mode, 6 dB, 12 dB. Flat will do me. If you've got enough on the desk, I think it's got enough energy already. And then you've got your phantom power on, phantom power off, phantom power on, phantom power with a light. And also the lights signify other settings, so once you've learned what they are, you can see them from the edge. Let me just put this back on, because I'm now finished. Yeah. So when I review it, we're going to review it with phantom power on, with the lights, so that doesn't matter. But I'm going to put them with the light. No, switch them off. I'm going to view it with phantom power on, no boost, 0 dB, and no cut. That's how I'm going to review it as a mic. Let me put this back on, because there's something I was going to look at. Yeah. Okay, so I've finished being under the hood. Under the hood, no more. Done. I'll just read this whilst you might be able to see it. I don't know. Let me get rid of this light. So what does it say? Dynamic handheld with active mode, supercardioid, maximum isolation, sound source. 3 gain settings, which we know, 0, +6, +12. 3 low cut settings, linear, 150, 12 dB per octave, 250, 12 dB per octave. Switchable LED status indicator for low cut and pre-attenuation settings. So that's what those other LEDs do, so you know where you've got it set. integrated but for full blast, gold-plated, corrosion-resistant XLR. So there we go. Just look at the user interface. You can I'll put this online properly, and you'll be able to see that just as a PDF, you'll be able to see what all that does. Okay, that's the end of that. And the next thing is to get on seeing what it sounds like compared to the SV33. So I'll see you there. I've gone close up and shown you the switches, so I'm going to concentrate mostly on what it sounds like now. Interestingly, that's what it sounds like acoustically. The mic's switched off at the moment. It's just through the 33, so a bit of a ring there. I wonder if that's brass. Sounds a bit brass-like to me. I don't know. Sounds quite musical, whatever it is. How I came by it. Well, thanks to Rockbottom, music shop over the road. I'll put a little bit of the video at the end, as I often do with the Rockbottom mics. They've got a bit of a relationship with Lewitt, and they said, what do I fancy having? And this turned up. It's a bit of an involved mic, if you like, with the switches, which I'll go through, or you'd have seen on the other part of the video. What the manufacturer says. Well, they say it's £229, though I've seen it in another outlet for £164, but I'm thinking now I don't know if that included VAT. Anyway, on the website, Lewitt's website, it says £229. Supercardioid, they say it goes from 40 hertz to 18 kilohertz. They say its tailored frequency response ensures that your vocals will cut through every mix. The unique active mode boosts the sensitivity by up to 12 dB. Goes on to say, refined electronics and superior capsule design make the MTP 840DM a useful tool on stage for on-stage use. That's about it. Oh, website's very good. There are some samples, sound samples on there, male and female, with and without phantom, which seems to me have been levelled up to the same volume. They sound identical to me. A quick listen, not with headphones. What the manufacturer says has done that. Frequency response. Well, interestingly, I can't find a chart. So I guess we're going to have to use our ears. I can tell you though. Well, I won't. We'll use our ears. Close up, fit, finish, fill accessories. I've done all this from above. Great. No worries whatsoever. Very nicely made. This is what it looks like compared to an SM58. I'd say generally just a bit larger. Well, it is obviously, it's taller, but don't know if it's any girthier, but it comes across as a bit larger. No bad thing. And about, as far as I can tell, about the same as an SM58. Okay, enough of all that. I've set it up, though I often have to change things. And for the minute I've set it up, phantom powered, with no boost, and no bass cut, because that's the way I would use it, and that's the nearest to most of the other mics I've got. Well, kind of. So that's how it's set up at the moment. Let's see what I notice immediately. Moving on to the Lewitt. What do I notice immediately? Moving on to the Lewitt. And what do I notice immediately? Yeah, I notice that, so it gives us some idea of the shaping. I notice the brooding, a little bit of down there, and there. So I hear the part of that. There, underpinned with the there. And seems to me, bearing in mind it's a dynamic, even though it's phantom powered, seems to me to be quite fast in that area. Sometimes it's difficult to tell that because of I'm aware of that it's, so obviously if I had to see the chart, I'd see as usual with most mics, that'd be that peaking up there, and then there'd be the proximity thing as you get closer, which you can get rid of if you want to. That's what I notice immediately. Let's try the pops. Whilst I'm doing that, handling noises there. Of course, what I'm going to do here is do a 100 hertz cut. You can hear very much the difference there. So what you could do is cut 150 under there, but that's going to affect the voice. Here's 100 hertz. That's going to affect the voice. Can you hear what happens? That's going to affect the voice with 100 hertz. That's going to affect the voice. It's a 100 hertz cut. This is the 100 hertz. Now back in. I'm going to go to the 80 hertz. This is 80 hertz. Let's hear the handling noise. That's with 80 hertz rolled off. That's with 80 hertz rolled off. Handling noise is still a little bit there. Well, it is. And this is with it back flat again. So, as is always the case with mics that go low, you've got to handle that. Or you've got to be careful how you handle it. There are the switches, which I won't go through. I think I did. Yes, I did. Can't remember what I've done now. It was only yesterday, or maybe the day before. So, make of that what you will. I'm going to leave it the way it is. That's what I would with most mics. We'll look at the pops. Pops. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Pretty good, seems to me. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Who do you think you're fooling? 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 Who? Seems pretty good to me. Proximity, let's see. Here it is some distance away. Here it is some distance away. Here it is some distance away. Here it is coming closer. Here it is coming closer. Here it is coming closer, which you can tell. Here it is coming closer. Here it is coming closer. Here it is coming closer, which you can tell. Not really any bass proximity effect to speak of that I've heard. Here it is coming closer. Here it is coming closer. There's more detail, isn't there? It's quite nice and gentle. And I can hear now just a little bit of the low end coming in. Here it is coming closer. Here it is coming closer. Now it's starting to sound more intimate to my ears. Here it is coming closer. Here it is coming closer. As it comes closer, some of that for me gets a little bit sharp, but you can always EQ it, I guess. Let me finish one thing. Here it is coming closer. Here it is coming closer. Now we really get the proximity. Here it is coming closer. Here it is coming closer. And here it is right up against my my lips. That bit there. Here's the EQ. Here's the 12K. Taking it off a bit. Going to boost it first. So that's 12K. Here's flat. There it is taken down just a little. There it is, taken down just a little, going to flat. Here's the mid, which is 2 point something. So boosting the mid here, boosting the mid here. Can you hear what's happening there? That's the mid. That's the mid. This is the mid flat. This is the mid taken down just a little. Don't think we want to do that. So if I wanted to do anything, I'd take the 12K. Of course, it's never going to quite match what I want, unless you've got a digital array thing of software. So that's that. Let's have a look at the polar response. They tell me it's supercardioid. 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 They tell me it's wow. Yes, indeed, sir. They tell me it's supercardioid. They tell me it's supercardioid. They tell me it's supercardioid. Oh, very good. They tell me it's supercardioid. 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 Well, I wouldn't know that necessarily from that because there wasn't much leakage coming from the back there. But it was so tight at the side, I'd have to think, obviously something going on there. Okay. Now, what have we got? We've got the switches, which I said I wasn't going to go through. I'm not going to take the top off, but I've changed my mind. The reason being, here's my here's what I'm wondering. Oh, may as well do the low end completely. Do the low end. 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 It's not bad for a dynamic. It's got a dynamic sound to it a little bit to me. So yeah, I do think it seems to me it's quite fast. That bit's lifted, but nonetheless, listening through. But can you hear that? I suppose it has to be done. Or maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just the way things are with microphones. Maybe it's impossible not to do that, to have that lift all the time on everything. But, you know, so all the mics have got it so well, apart from some coming up in a video just now, but the vast majority do. Forgotten what I was going to do now. What I'm going to do is take the top off, and I told you I wasn't going to do that anymore, and I'm going to get rid of the phantom and listen to the volume level. Okay, I'm on the 33, now I'm going to switch to I'm going to call it the Lewitt, if you don't mind. The Lewitt, and phantom has been switched off. Now I'm on the Lewitt with the phantom switched off. Now I'm on the Lewitt with the phantom switched off. Now I'm on the Lewitt with the phantom switched off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap this cable straight into an SM58 so we can hear the difference. Okay, here I am on an SM58. Here I am on an SM58. So it sounds to me that the SM58 is louder. Can I trust my meters? No. Okay, phantom power is off on the desk, and this is a Lewitt. The phantom power is off on the desk, and this is a Lewitt. The phantom power is off on the desk, and this is a Shure SM58. The phantom power is off on the desk, and this is a Shure SM58. The phantom power is off on the desk, and this is a Lewitt. The phantom power is off on the desk, and this is a Lewitt. This is the Lewitt now with the phantom power back on. Okay, well, I'm pleased about that, because when I was fiddling about before, it seemed to me that without the phantom power, that just as a dynamic, it was seriously low in output, but that's not the case. From what I just heard there, it seems to be much the same as an SM58. So then you've got the option of a straightforward dynamic, and if you want a little lift, then you've got the phantom power, which can be as is, it lifts it a bit anyway, and then +6, +12 should you require it. I don't know in what circumstances that might be, but maybe you would for something or other. Anyway, so I've lost the plot a bit here because we've got, you know, I'm sure what would happen. Basically, you've got to figure out, do you like the sound of the mic, or what the mic does to your voice? And then beyond that, would the switches be useful? So for me, the switches, I probably wouldn't use them. So I'm wondering, do I like the mic as is? But for some of you, for some circumstances, that might be invaluable to have those switches. Don't know. I got a little bit lost with it all. So there we are. But I think what the thing to do then is hand it over to the man. See what the man make of it. I'll see you on the next one. Maybe you're poor, maybe you have wealth, maybe in demand or maybe baby on the shelf. Whatever your situation, there's one thing you should do. Reject all automation and let me work on you. I'm Mr. Manual. Automatic's not my style, no. They call me Mr. Manual. Guaranteed to make you smile. They call me Mr. Manual. Automatic's not my style. They call me Mr. Manual. Automatic's not my style. I like to manually manipulate you, guaranteed to make you smile. I like to manually manipulate you. It's guaranteed to make you smile. I like to manually manipulate you. It's guaranteed to make you smile. Yes. El facilitador flexible. So what is the Rockbottom Connection? Well, Rockbottom's a music shop over the road from me, established in 1974. In 1979, I bought my Fender Super Twin reverb amplifier there. I've still got it and it still works. And they do all sorts of microphones, as you can see. Obviously Shure, Lewitt, Yamaha, all sorts, stage and studio. And they've got some second-hand mics, audio interfaces, all sorts of good stuff. And as you can see, loads of electric guitars. And if you're into them, I'm not so much, but acoustic guitars. And there you can see also keyboards. They do PA. And here you can see, obviously, electric guitar amplifiers. And as if that's not enough, upstairs, they've got a drum section and also cymbals and percussion. And they do servicing and repair of all sorts. Also, they've got 7 rehearsal rooms. You can see a couple of the smaller ones there. So you can do your stuff. You can come and try some mics out down in the rehearsal rooms and get a kind of real-world feel for it. Yeah, it's in Croydon. You can buy stuff, of course, and get in touch if there's particular things you want. Anyway, my idea then is that I can... there are a fair few mics. I get mates rates if I hire them and check them out. So that's the plan.